Hi guys, this is Iryna Rychko, the BCBA, and today I have a very interesting and exciting guest that I want to introduce you guys to. This is Mica Rudich. She is the person who initiated an actual union that happened and it was formed in Oregon. So I'm super excited to have you here and ask you some questions about your experience so we can hopefully teach other behavior technicians, how to get control over their labor and have a say at the table of the decision making. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks for
So
having me.
cool. I would like to know first, what was the first kind of the environmental setting events that have um, motivated you to actually begin the unionization process at your agency?
Right. So before I started my job as a BT, I did my research. I read the bad reviews. There was kind of a sketchy contract, but I figured that I would try and figure it out for myself. I started my job in August 2017, and almost immediately I noticed that we had one of the highest turnover rates that I've ever seen, and coworkers were telling me things such as my mental health has been declining since I started working here. And that was something so bizarrely contrasting to me because we work in the mental health field. Something else that I was hearing was, this sucks, but there's nothing that we can do about it. And, I was getting this overwhelming feeling of people loving the work that we do. Like, we love the work that we do. We're there for the kids, but we just weren't feeling supported. And, it was that feeling of helplessness that I felt from my coworkers, who were saying things like, this sucks, but there's nothing that we can do about it. And I want to stay here, but I just don't feel supported. And it was that feeling of helplessness that I felt, that got me thinking, well, maybe there is something we can do about it. There has to be something we can do about it. And that's kind of how our first petition was born. We'd noticed that we weren't getting our 10-minute paid breaks, which is our legal right. Mm-hmm. So I contacted a free labor lawyer to inquire about that. She validated that our rights were in fact being violated. And after that, I asked a coworker if he wanted to help. We wrote a petition together. And, that's sort of how, and after we presented that petition to management, we won our breaks. And that feeling of unity that we all had.
Reinforcement, there we go. So you tried it and it was reinforced because you've actually achieved one little thing by voting together.
Right. Yeah, that feeling of unity that we had was electric. People were feeling empowered by coming together and realizing the sway that we had, because employees in any company well outnumber the management. So the power that you have as an employee is incredible when you come together. And so, after we won that and we realized that sway and we were feeling empowered, I wondered essentially how we could build on that power and escalate. There was a spark, and I could envision it becoming a fire. Mm-hmm. And that is when I Googled labor union. I had also heard that my neighbor was a union organizer. So I went and knocked on their door. And when they answered, I said, "Hey, are you Allie?" They said yes. I told them that crazy things were happening at work and asked if they wouldn't mind telling me what they knew about organizing. Luckily, they were excited to talk. We met up at a park, sat in the grass, and they told me their story, answered questions, connected me to union organizers all over Portland, Oregon. And from that day on, it was about 4 months of networking, meeting up with organizers, and I also read a book that I highly recommend. It's called Secrets of a Successful Organizer. And
I'll share a link later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% recommend that. That helped me a lot in strategizing for our campaign. Because what I didn't want to do was start talking union at work without knowing much, or spreading misinformation. I wanted to make sure that I had done research and that I was behind the cause 100%. And the other thing I didn't want was another, boss situation where I had this idea, was trying to oppose it, onto others, because I recognize too that that's not how you build a sustainable movement. Which brings me to the next step. Like, I started feeling people out, and people were getting excited about it. So from then, I was talking to people one-on-one, looking at this long-term goal of winning, a contract and setting up small goals to get there, signing authorization cards, presenting a mission statement. And we won our union election about 2 months ago on May 24th.
Amazing. Yeah. May 24th was the big day. Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible. And so that I completely understand. How long overall did you say that the whole process took from when you said, that's it, I'm starting the research to how to do this, to actually winning the vote?
Yeah, so I would say that the whole process started around when we did the petition, which was around March of 2018. And then we won our election this year, May 2019. So it took a little bit over a year.
Very good. Excellent. And then can you actually describe what was it like to be in that room that day when the actual vote for the union took place?
Yeah, so when we held the election, after the election, the government agent counts the votes in front of us, and in that room, it was probably the most tense room I've ever been in. There were union supporters, there were management there, and it was probably the first time where you're in a room with management and they don't have the power. It was incredible to, we were all waiting for the results, and you really could feel yourself lifted out of that power dynamic, because generally, when you're talking to management or, in a work environment, management's up here and you're down here, and unionizing puts you on more of an equal footing there. So it was an incredible feeling. Yeah.
Amazing. I wish I was there. That's all I can say. You really are doing the most progressive behavior I've ever seen a person do in our field so far. It's so hard and so intimidating. Fantastic. And now, obviously, please tell me, after you got your union, what are the changes now? What has changed, or what is going to change? What are you guys in the process of?
Yeah, so basically what it's put in place is a process where your employer is legally obligated to listen to you, to bargain with you. So we're in the process of bargaining right now, where it's really an amazing experience to be sitting across from your employer at a table on, equal standing, where you're talking about wages, you're talking about benefits, and you're talking about all these things that are, in the end, essentially going to help you feel supported and be able to provide better and higher quality therapy for the kids, which is our end goal, and has been our mission all along, is to, provide the highest quality therapy that we can, and to have a say in that at the bargaining table is really powerful. And so we've had 3 bargaining sessions right now. We're working on fixing some scheduling issues, and since we've unionized too, they've given raises to all the other clinics. The company that I work for is a very big company. It has hundreds of clinics over the U.S. And so not only has it changed the working conditions for us, but it's changed the working conditions for all of the other clinics in the nation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's a ripple effect. Something happens here, and then it affects everything around it. Incredible.
Right.
Okay, awesome. So are you interested in being open to communicate with BTs and RBTs who may potentially want your advice? Would you leave your contact info?
Absolutely, yes.
Your email would be awesome.
Right. Feel free, my phone number, my email, or Facebook.
Amazing.